friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, I am going to be stuffing my cash envelopes and my sinking funds for the final time in July. I sat down and wrote out the budget for this week with you all in a previous video, so check it out. If you missed it, I will put it in a card above. But today's video is going to be all about figuring out how much money I need to pull from the bank and in what denominations, and then stuffing my envelopes. So looking at the budget here that I wrote out, I know that I need to pull cash out of the bank for my cash envelopes as well as for my sinking funds. So the total amount that I need to pull out of the bank, if we add this up, so the cash envelope total is $320. The sinking funds total is $253. So I know I need to pull out $573. What I don't know is what denominations I need to pull out for all of these various categories. You all don't even know what sinking funds I'm adding money to. So we're going to find that out together today by using the cash envelope breakdown from the Budget Mom. So the paycheck date is July 27th. It's the last paycheck of July, and we're just going to list out the categories that we need to pull cash for. So that is everything under my cash envelopes category here. So we'll go ahead and write that in. That was the sound of my pen hitting the floor. Alright, there it is. Okay, so the first category is food. And for my food budget this week, I budgeted $200. So I know that I need to pull out $200 for food. For my husband's spending, I need to pull out $40. For my spending money, I need to pull out $40. For Austin's allowance, I need to pull out $20. And for my miscellaneous category, I need to pull out $20. So that's everything I need to pull out for my cash envelopes. But what about my sinking funds? So I said in that budget video that I could not write out all of my sinking fund categories here because there just wasn't enough space here on my paycheck bill tracker. So I told you guys I would break it down in this video, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh, the total that I'm going to pull out for sinking funds is $253, and I'm going to categorize them like this. So first up is our camping sinking fund, and our camping sinking fund is going to get $50. Next up we have my car sinking fund, and I'm going to add $13 to my car sinking fund. I know that seems like a weird number, and it is. That's just kind of what I had left to work with after I kind of figured everything else up. So it's an odd number. It's a little weird, but that's what we're adding to car this week. For celebrations, which is like birthdays, anniversaries, that sort of thing, as well as Christmas, we're going to add $30 to that fund. For clothing, we're going to add $10. For home, we're going to add $10. Medical is going to get $10. For pets, say it with me, $10. Our school expenses is going to get $15. We're trying to add a little bit extra to school since school will be starting before we know it. Spending is getting $30. Subscriptions, so this covers all of our streaming services. This covers my gym membership. This covers my husband's Audible account. Anything that kind of falls under subscriptions When those things are due, I take the money out of our sinking fund to pay them, and so our subscriptions is going to get $15 this week. We're also going to be adding to YouTube, which I'm actually going to be changing the name of the sinking fund when I do my sinking fund setup for August. I'm going to change this from YouTube to just taxes, because it's not just YouTube anymore. Now I'm setting aside money for Etsy taxes as well, so I need to change the name of this. But for now, it's titled as YouTube, so that's what I'm leaving it as, even though the money I'm adding in here is a percentage of what I earned from Etsy this week, and that is going to get $10. And lastly, I have my son, Robert. So if you guys are not familiar, we have Robert pay us a little bit of money in rent every month, and then we take a portion of that rent money and we stick it in an envelope just to kind of save it up for him for his future. So that's getting $50. So that's all of the cash I need to pull out of the bank. That's my cash envelopes. That's my sinking funds. We know it should be a total of $573. So I'm going to really quickly just add these totals up and make sure it adds up to $573. So let's find out. So 200 plus 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 20 plus 50 plus 13 plus 30 plus 10, 10, 10, 10 plus 15 plus 30 plus 15 plus 10 plus 50 is 573. So that's good to go. So now we know how much we need to pull out for each of my envelopes. We need to know how much we need to pull out total. Now we got to figure out the denominations. So we all know if I go to the bank and ask for 573, they're going to give me 5 $100 bills, a 50, a 20, and 3 ones. That's not going to break down nicely into my envelopes. So I need to tell them exactly what denominations I need. And in order to do that, I need to do the cash breakdown. So for my food category, it's $200. I'm going to do a combination of 50s and 20s this week. So I'm going to do 2 50s. And that's going to account for 100 of that. And then I'm going to do 5 20s. And that should be 200, 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Perfect. Okay. Then for my husband's spending, he's going to get $40. We're going to do 2 20s for that. My spending is also going to be 2 20s. For Austin's allowance, we're going to do a 20. And for miscellaneous, we're going to do a 20. For camping, for the $50 we're going to add to our camping fund, we're just going to do a 50. For our car sinking fund, we're going to go ahead and do a 10 and 3 ones. Celebrations is going to get 30, so we're going to do, you know what, let's just do 3 10s for that. For clothing, we're going to do a 10. For home, we're going to do a 10. For medical, we're going to do a 10. For pets, we're going to do a 10. School's going to get 15, so that's going to be a 10 and a 5. Spending is going to get 30, so we'll do a 20 and a 10 for that. Subscriptions is going to get 15, so we'll do a 10 and a 5 for that. YouTube is going to get a 10, and Robert is going to get a 50. So I think that's all accurate. I said celebrations was going to get 3 10s, and now I'm rethinking that. I don't want these sinking funds to get too fat, so we're going to do a 20 and a 10 for that as well. Okay, now it's as simple as going down each column and adding these up and getting a total bill count at the bottom. So for ones, we know we want 3 ones. That's a total of $3. Fives, 1, 2, 3 5s. That's $15. 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10s for a total of $90. 20s, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 20s. And that's what, $260, I think? And then for 50s, we want 2, 3, 4 50s for a total of $200. So now we're going to add up the total value of the bills and make sure that this total matches this total. And that's how we will know that we didn't make any mistakes. So fingers crossed, friends. 3 plus 15 plus 90 plus 260 plus 200 is 568. So we screwed up somewhere. Let's see where. Got to be at the fives, right? But yeah, yep, that's it right there, because YouTube is not getting a 5, it's getting a 10. So that's going to take this down to 2 5s for a total of $10. This is why I write in erasable pens. And this then is going to move up to 10 10s for a total of $100. Now let's try that again. 3 plus 10 plus 100 plus 260 plus 200 is 573. So that's accurate now. Like I said, that's why I always double check, and that's why I always write in erasable pens. 573 in these denominations. That's what I'm going to pull from the bank. So I'm going to write this down on a little sticky note, which I have right here. These sticky notes are from the Budget Mom. I absolutely love them. Highly recommend them. They are in my description box, linked for you guys if you want them. So 3 1s for a total value of $3, 2 5s for a total value of $10, 10 10s, try not to get ahead of yourself, Jessie, is 100, 13 20s is 260, and 4 50s is 200. We're not doing any hundreds this week, and that's a grand total of 573. So I'm going to go ahead and run to the bank, pull out this cash that I need, and I will be back to stuff my envelopes with you all. Okay, friends, so it has been a few days since I sat down and did my cash envelope breakdown with you. I have not had a chance to sit down and film the cash stuffing until now, so it's a totally different day, and it's a very dreary, rainy, wet day outside. So if the lighting is not great in this portion of the video, I apologize. You know, you can't fight Mother Nature. It's raining. What can I do? I do have a studio light on, but it's still pretty darn dark. So I went to the bank, I got the cash, I have my accordion folder here where I keep my sinking funds. Actually, this is my son's accordion folder. This one's mine. They match. I probably should label them in some way, but that's fine. I'll put my son's off to the side. I don't need that right now. I have my accordion folder. I have all of the tools that I need. So I have my cash envelope breakdown that I filled out with you all. I have my Parkoo erasable pen, which I love. A little highlighter so I can go in and highlight as I go. And I have the cash. And I have my conscious wallet. So we're going to start with the conscious wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and put my accordion folder off to the side. We're going to count up the cash here and make sure that I have what I'm supposed to have. It should be 573. So I'm just going to really quickly count this up. I had some cash that I already had in my wallet. So some of this I pulled out of my wallet. Some of it came from the bank. I just want to make sure I didn't make any mistakes, because Lord knows I'm famous for those. So 573 is what we're looking for. 50, 100, 50, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 500, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 71, 72, 73. So 573 is indeed what I have. I'm just going to count up all the denominations now, make sure that that's accurate. So I needed 3 1s. 1, 2, 3, including that one that I punched holes right through. Oops. so that'll go here. And then we needed 2 5s, which I have. So that's good. Don't mind my pajamas. I'm filming in my pajamas today. I have no plans to go anywhere or do anything, so honestly, I might not even get dressed today. Let's see. We needed 10 10s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good to go there. We needed 13 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have everything right. That's so satisfying. And 4 50s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 50s I'm just going to tuck over here off to the side. Maybe scooch everything a little bit so you can see a little better. And might zoom in just a touch. So this is all of my cash lined up and neat and organized and pretty. So we're just going to start stuffing our envelopes now. So I zoomed in and now everything's not like centered all pretty in the frame, but that's fine. You guys get the point. So we're going to start out with the envelopes that are in my wallet. I have a Conscious wallet. I absolutely love this wallet. It's got little rings for you to be able to put in cash envelopes. I made these cash envelopes myself, at least these first couple. I also have little trackers here that I made and laminated. I'm going to get a little fine point Sharpie and write in. Every time I spend money, I need to get better at tracking my transactions, so I went ahead and made the little trackers to go with them. But I have my wallet and my trackers. This is a really pretty pattern, and this is going to be the pattern for all of my September printables when I get those listed on Etsy. So there's a little sneak peek at that. Isn't it pretty? I love that pattern. And then the other envelope I have in here is my bank envelope. This is cash that I need to take back to the bank. I should have done that when I went and got the cash, but I forgot. So it's just going to hang out here till I go to the bank next time. So we're starting out with my food envelope, and my food category is going to get $200, and I took 2 50s and 5 20s for that. So I'm just going to take 2 50s and 5 of my 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should be $200. 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200. That's $200 into my food envelope for grocery shopping and for eating out and that sort of thing. So that's all set. Typically this is where I would write in my tracker, but I haven't gotten my fine point Sharpies in yet, so I'm just going to leave my tracker blank for now. Next up, I have my spending money. Oh, well, first let's set aside my husband's spending money. So if we look here on my cash envelope breakdown, my husband's getting $40, and he's getting 2 20s for that. I don't put that money into my wallet. It doesn't really make sense for me to hold on to his cash, right? So I'm just going to take his 2 20s and set them off to the side for him so I can give those to him when he gets home from work. Next up, though, is my spending. That's where my Jessie envelope comes in. I'm Jessie, by the way, if I failed to mention that. How y'all doing? Thanks for joining me on my video today. And we're going to do 2 20s for that. Just tuck that in there. Next up, I have miscellaneous, and I know miscellaneous is going to get a $20 bill, so I'll go ahead and pop that in here. That takes care of everything for my envelopes. But I know that I skipped over my son's allowance here. Austin is going to get a $20 bill, so I'm going to stick this 20 off to the side with my husband's cash so that I can give this to Austin when he is finished with his chores. So that's everything for my wallet and for our cash envelopes, our spending for the week. We put money into our cash envelopes, and that sort of acts as like our variable expenses. This is all money that I anticipate will get spent throughout the week. I don't expect to have anything left over at the end of the week. So that takes care of all of those. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull in that accordion folder where I keep all of my sinking funds. So sinking funds differ from cash envelopes in that this cash is cash that I am putting into these envelopes to set aside for the future. So things that we know are coming up that we want to be prepared for. So we just take a little bit of money out of every single paycheck and set it aside so that when these big things happen and we need a large quantity of money for something, we already have it set aside. We don't have to scramble for it. So the first of the sinking funds we are going to fill is our camping sinking fund, which I have right here in the front. And our camping sinking fund right now has $997 in it. And I'm going to add $50 more. So the way that I handle my sinking funds, I keep them in cash. That's just personal preference. I like to be able to access the cash, you know, ASAP. I don't want to have to run to the bank when I need it. Plus, if it's in my account, I see that high balance in my account and I think I have money to spend, when really this money is allocated elsewhere. So I just write in the paycheck date, which is 7/27. I write in that we are going to deposit $50. And then I pull in my calculator because I'm horrid at math and I don't want to make any mistakes. So we're just going to add that $997 plus the $50 deposit. That should bring it up to $1,047. So I just write that in. Anytime that I take money out of a fund or add money to, I write it down so that I can keep myself accountable. So we're going to deposit that $50. So I've got a $50 bill here. I'm going to slip it in where it goes with its like denominations. And then every time that I add money to a fund or take money out, actually, I count it just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So $1,047, that's what we're looking for. Let's see if I can count this without messing it up. Wish me luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800, 850, 900, 950, 1,000, 20, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. $1,047. That was actually easier to count than I expected because I went in and did some bill exchanges and exchanged some of the smaller bills for some larger ones. So that is all good as expected. So I'm going to put that back in my accordion folder and pull out the next fund, which is car. I'm going to go ahead and mark off our camping so I know that I added that. And moving on to our car, we recently spent some of this money on some things that my husband needed for his motorcycle. He got a new battery and a new petcock for his motorcycle and something else. I don't remember, but it cost us $70. Luckily, we have this fund for vehicle maintenance and other car-related things, so he was able to get those things, but that drug our balance down a little bit to $557. But we are going to add 13 more today. I know that seems like a weird number, but that's just kind of what I had left when I was figuring everything out. So that's what we went with. So we're going to take that 557 and add 13, and that's going to give us a total of $570, which actually brings it up to a round number, which I didn't anticipate, but that's exciting. So then we're going to deposit 13. So 10 and those 3 ones, including that one that I punched holes in. So $13 is going to get added here. The one with the ones. Slip in that 10 and then count this up. And again, we're looking for 570. 150, 250, 350, 450, 550, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. So that is all as expected. That's going to go into my folder here. I love this little folder. It's so cute and it fits everything perfectly. Next up is celebrations. So let me just go ahead and mark this off. Wow. that was crooked as all get out, but that's fine. For celebrations, we're going to add 30. My fund currently has $770 in it, so paycheck date is 7/27. Deposit $30, and that should bring it up to $800, right? Even I can do that mental math. So let's go ahead and shift this a little bit since I got rid of those ones. There we go. And let's add $30. So that's going to be a 20 and a 10. And we'll count it up. 100, 200, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700, 750, 770, 790, 800. And I had a bent $100 bill. That was making me crazy. Okay. So celebrations is at an even $800, which is great. Okay. Next up, we have clothing. And clothing is going to get $10. I really need to start bulking this up a little bit more, so we have back to school shopping coming up real soon. But for now, we're just going to deposit 10. And that's going to bring it up to $60 in my fund. There you go. Our home sinking fund is coming in next. And our home sinking fund is going to get $10 as well. It currently has $80 in there. So we're going to deposit 10, and that's going to bring it up to $90. 50, 70, 80, 90. Okay, then we have medical, and I'm actually going to have to get into this medical fund this week. I'm taking my son for an eye exam, and he's going to get fitted for contact lenses, which I'm kind of nervous about. He is 13, but he's been asking me for contacts pretty much since he turned 10, and I've been putting it off and putting it off, telling him to wait till he's older. He's so mature, he's so responsible, so as long as our eye doctor agrees that he's capable of wearing them, we're going to get them for him. So, wish us luck with that endeavor. But for now, we're going to deposit $10, and that's going to bring this up to $65. 50, 60, 65. Okay, next up is pets. Let's just go ahead and mark this so I know I filled medical. Alright, our pets fund has $45 in it, and we're adding 10 more today for this one as well. Lots of $10 bills this time around. That's going to bring it up to 55. At least this math is easy, right? So we've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. That takes care of our pets fund. I know we are running low on cat litter, so I will likely be pulling some of this cash out this week to pick up that. Alright, our school fund. This is getting pretty close to being fully funded for school supplies, which we're going to need to buy soon. Luckily, my son does not need a whole lot. He still has quite a few of the items that we purchased him last year because last school year was so weird. So that's good news. So we're going to add 15, And that's going to bring this up to an even $100, which should honestly be more than enough to get him everything that he needs. He just needs a couple of notebooks and a new backpack, I think, in terms of school supplies. He definitely needs school clothes. He has grown out of all of his pants, but that's a totally different fund. So we're going to add a 10 and a 5 here. And we're looking for $100. So we have 50, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. So that's all set, ready for when he needs his school shopping to get done. Of course, we're going to continue to add to this fund because there's lots of other expenses when it comes to school. But at least we are well on our way to being able to get his school supplies that he needs. Okay, next up we have spending. Our spending envelope has $50 in it. And we are going to deposit 30 more today. And I just keep this spending category for when I get the itch to shop. You guys know I have a shopping addiction. So rather than just swipe a credit card when I decide I need to shop for something, nobody needs to shop, but you know what I mean. Rather than swipe a credit card for that, I just put a little bit of money aside so that when I get the urge to shop or when we need something, I have the money available to do it with. So $80, we're going to add nope, let's not add a 50 because that's not what we're doing. We're going to add a 30, so 20 and a 10. See, I get to talking to you guys and I don't pay attention, and that is why I always double and triple check myself to make sure I don't make any mistakes. So we're looking for $80 here. 20, 40, 60, 70, $80 in spending. I love seeing this fund build up. So that takes care of that. Next we have our subscriptions. And we have quite a few subscriptions. This fund will cover our Amazon Prime membership. It covers our streaming services. It covers my husband's Audible. I also recently subscribed to Canva, and that's got a monthly fee that'll come out of this. So I need to be making sure I'm adding plenty of money to this to cover all of our various subscriptions. So right now the fund has $45 in it, and we're depositing 15 more. I'm out of frame. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. My apologies. So that should bring this up to $60. We're going to add a 10 and a 5. This is all, there we go. 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, and 60. So subscriptions is all set. Next up, I'm going to pull in my YouTube fund. Now, this fund I'm actually going to be changing the name of because as of the past 6 months, I've been adding money to this for paying taxes on my YouTube income. But I recently added a second source of income through Etsy, and so I'm going to change the name of this fund to taxes, just so that I, am aware that the money in here comes from my YouTube income as well as my Etsy income. I keep 30% of my income aside in an envelope for when I need to file to cover, self-employment tax, that sort of thing, when I cover my taxes. Previously, in years past, I've found that my husband's withholdings cover what I need to pay, but I know that that might not always be the case, so I just set aside 30% of my income. That way I have it when I file my taxes if I need it, and if I don't, then I have this large sum of money that I can put towards debt. So that's how I handle that, but this week we are adding money in here from my Etsy income. 30% of what I earned from Etsy this week was $10. Not a whole lot, but every little bit helps. So we're going to deposit $10, and that's going to bring this up to $9.80. So I've got my last little 10 here. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, $700, $800, $850, $900, $950, $960, $970, $980. How exciting. All right. So let me just really quickly go ahead and highlight these so I know that I filled them. The very last fund here is my son's savings, and that actually is not in my accordion folder. That is now in his accordion folder. So what this money is we charge him rent. He's 18 years old, living at home, working full-time. He makes his own money, and we want to get him used to the idea of having responsibilities, having bills, because he's making adult money, but he still has, you know, like child responsibilities. He doesn't have a ton of bills. So he would have a lot of money just left for him to just blow if he wanted to blow it. So we charge him a little bit of rent, both to help us out a little bit in terms of keeping him fed, because the kid can eat. It also covers his his portion of the phone bill. We're on a family plan, and we take a portion of that little bit of rent that we charge him and we stick it into savings for him. He does not know that, but someday he's going to want to move out, and he's going to have a little tiny bit of money set aside to help him do that, or if he wants to buy a new car or whatever. We just kind of stick this money, $50 a month, away for him for his future. So I just have that stuck in a little paper envelope in the back of his accordion folder. He honestly doesn't even know it's there. When he does his budget every week, he gives me the cash to put into his various funds. He decides how much he wants to put in his funds, but he just hands me the cash and I put it in there for him. So yeah, if you guys are interested in hearing more about my son's budget, I have a whole separate video on that. You can check it out in the card above. But we're going to add $50 to his savings. That's that last 50. I'm just going to mark on here that his August rent, we put $50 away for him. So that should mean he's got $350 in here. So we'll add that other 50 and we'll count it up. So we have 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, 20, 40, 50. $350. It's not a whole lot, but I like that we have this little tiny bit of money set aside for him for the future, and he'll be grateful to have it someday. So that's just going to go right back into his little accordion folder in the back and get saved for a rainy day. So that is it, my friends, for my cash envelope stuffing video for the week. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know it got a little bit lengthy. I apologize. I was chatty today. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.